Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have a new collection from BCB Lacquers to share with you all.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
This is called their New Beginnings collection. It is their spring collection. They are 6 beautiful colors that have gorgeous finishes. Wait till you see them. I will also be swatching the Smut of the Month polish. These names will continue to get spicy, so just keep that in mind. And because we're heading into spring and St. Patrick's Day, Brittany has gifted us with this lovely creation, 2 additional Smut of the Month polishes. Typically for me, for springtime, I am really not the one for like pastel colors or pastel polishes. I just never really liked the pastel vibe or the pastel finish on my nails or just as a finish in general. I don't know, just something about it that I just never really liked. I don't know if it was like the cleanup, I could never get like a super sharp line. I don't know. My nail beds aren't always perfect, and with pastel colors, they can pick up those imperfections, and maybe it's just scarred me or traumatized me, and I don't know, they're just not my vibe. But for this collection, we have light airy shades, but not necessarily like that stark pastel color. So I was definitely loving these. All right, everybody, let's get into these lovely swatches.
So we are going to start off with the March Smut of the Month. This one is called A Happy Ending. It is described as a tan crelly with a strong red, orange, gold, green shifting shimmer. So you can see on that first coat, we apply nice and evenly. We get a heaping amount of that shimmer. We are seeing a lot of the gold on the first coat, and then on the second coat, that's when we really start seeing that red, orange peeking on through. I decided to do a quick third coat just to sort of even everything out. Some of my other nails looked like they needed that third coat. I'm going to say 2 to 3 coats for everybody. In love with the shimmer in this polish. It is super glowy. This is going to be a beautiful polish if you just want something fresh and inviting, but you want something with a little, sparkle. I think this would be an awesome pedicure as well, just because it's in your neutral zone, but you also have that lovely heaping amount of that shifty shimmer in there. Pictured are 3 coats of A Happy Ending with a glossy top coat. We are moving on to the special Smut of the Month duo. So this was originally created in honor of St. Patrick's Day, but honestly, it is going to be perfect for springtime, or even honestly in the fall or winter as well. So this one is Getting Lucky. That's what it's called. Getting Lucky. It is described as a pine green crelly. Now I just went in with 2 coats. It gave me a nice squishy look. I was fine with it in 2 coats. If I was going to wear this on its own, then I would maybe do 3 just to get a more bold, more opaque look on the nail. And then my longer nail friends, if you're just using this, I'd say 3 coats too. Or if you prefer the more squishier with a little bit of nail line, 2 is fine. But I knew I was going to use this lovely topper called Honey Pot. This one is packed with gold, orange, or red glass flakies. So you can see I just did 1 coat and it was plenty of enough. We got lots and lots of lovely flakies on the nail. And it just completely transformed this base color. So we're getting a lot of the gold when we're looking straight down. We see some of the red and a little bit of orange. The flakies are so reflective. They just bounce color off of the nail. I love how our base looks even deeper with this top coat on there. I bet you this topper over a lighter color would look so nice. Imagine that for like a spring manicure. So here we have 2 coats of Getting Lucky topped with 1 coat of Honey Pot. Now we are moving on to the New Beginnings collection, and this is called Letting Go. This one is described as a dusty lilac crelly with a strong red, orange, gold shifting shimmer. So you can see on the first coat, we do get a lovely wash of lilac on the nail. It's leaning a little bit pink. We can definitely see the like lavender-ish sort of lilac look, but because we have so much shimmer in here, I see a lot of pink in here. So we're getting a lot of orange and a lot of red with the shifty shimmer. I just did 2 coats and I was very happy with that on my shorter nails. I'm going to say 2 to 3 for everybody. but just a pretty wash of color, refreshing. This, of course, would make a lovely pedicure if you like more of the nude look with a little bit of extra spice on the toes, but really enjoyed this one. Pictured are 2 coats of Letting Go with the glossy top coats. Here we have Conquer Tomorrow, and this one is described as a gray crelly leading jelly with a strong purple pink shifting shimmer. So all of these polishes, I'm telling you, the shimmer is magnificent. So we can see on the first coat we go on a bit sheer. This one you could probably use as a topper if you really wanted to. I'm not showing it off that way, but I think it would look amazing. It would transform your polish into something really lovely. Now, because this one was more of a jellier sort of formulation, I did do 3 coats just to get the most coverage, the most opacity, and that really built up that shimmer. So we're seeing a lot of the purple, a little bit of that pink, and I love how we're seeing the shadows on the nails. I think it just gives it so much depth, so much dimension. Again, a beautiful manicure, and this would also make for a beautiful pedicure. I love for my pedicures to have a nice, like, wash of color. I do like doing bright colors, but most of the time that's probably for like summertime if I do that, but I really love a like slight wash of color for pedicures on me anyways. Pictured are 3 coats of Conquer Tomorrow with the glossy top coats. Here we have a new leaf, and this one is described as an avocado green crelly with a strong orange gold green shifting shimmer. So this one, just like the rest of them, we get a nice wash of color on the nail. On the second coat, we start seeing the shimmer really intensify and build up. And then, of course, we're getting towards that avocado green color that is described. I decided to do 2 coats with this one just because the color was a little bit darker. You can very well do 3 if you wanted to, but I feel like I got pretty good coverage with just those 2 coats. So with this shimmer, we're getting a lot of the gold, and I see the red, and it's, well, not the red, I see the orange, I should say, but it looks a little red to me. Really centered towards the middle of my nail. And I love how we get a more, I don't want to say it's more of a prugly color. I know that green isn't everybody's cup of tea when it comes to colors. I really enjoy greens and I enjoy prugly shades. So I think if you do too, then you'll enjoy this one. Pictured are 2 coats of a new leaf with a glossy top coat. Here we have Found My Wings, and this one is described as an orchid crelly with a strong blue-purple shimmer. This blue-purple shimmer, anytime it's in a polish, it is just fantastic. You can already see on the first coat that that shimmer is just shining on through. The color is a bit more darker than the rest of the polishes that we have seen in the collection. So I did do 2 coats and I was happy with that. I'm still going to say 2 to 3 for everybody because honestly, it's all preference really. But this one, whoa, this one definitely has that glow from within. I think out of all of them that we've seen so far, definitely the glow from within is in this polish for sure because that blue purple shimmer is so intense. But this would make for a lovely like base, and then if you wanted to use like an additional topper over, so say you topped it with honey pot, oh my gosh, I think this would look fantastic. Pictured are 2 coats of Found My Wings with a glossy top coat. The next polish that we have is a New Horizon. This one is a bright coral pink crelly with a strong gold orange green shifting shimmer. This one, so intense. It is like a sunset on the nails, like a summer sunset on the nails. That second coat, I get full opacity. Again, I'm going to say 2 to 3 for everybody because, you know, preference and all of that fun stuff. But it is such a bright and intense shade. Sometimes with these colors, I tend to steer away because I feel like they don't really look the greatest on my skin tone, like corally peachy shades. But I was absolutely in love with this one. I feel like this is definitely a summer polish for me. If I really wanted to wear it in the fall, like maybe summer transitioning into fall, I could definitely do that because it gives me a little bit of pumpkin vibes too. But I definitely see more of the coral in here. And then, of course, we're getting a lot of that gold shimmer peeking on through. And I see a little bit of a pink shift. Pictured are 2 coats of a New Horizon with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Seize the Day, and this one is described as a smoky sky blue crelly with a strong red, orange, gold, green shifting shimmer. This one I felt like was such a different shade from the rest of the polishes that we saw. We saw a lot of pinks and a lot of warm colors, and this one was just the opposite of that. So we get this nice, cool, bluish, grayish base with tons of shimmer in there. I'm getting a lot of red and a lot of orange. I did go in with 3 coats with this one just so I could get the most of that base color, and I was very happy with that. But the star of the show is definitely that shimmer because it is center fold right there for us to see. I really enjoyed this one just for the fact that it was more of a cooler color than the rest of them. Of course, we needed something a little bit different in collections, right? And this one was definitely it. Pictured our 3 coats of Seize the Day with a glossy top coat.
All right, I do have 3 polishes that were my faves, or the polishes that stood out to me the most. The first one being a New Horizon. Now, didn't think that I was going to enjoy this one just because of the color, but I loved how it looked on my nails. I felt like it was this like washed out pink / red, I guess like coral. But I loved it. And the shimmer in these polishes are just so pretty. Brittany has been doing her thing with the shimmer polishes lately, and I've been loving them. But I really loved this one. Like I said, I'm not big on pastel shades, but if you give me something with some shimmer and it's a little light and airy that I can pull off for the spring, then I'm gonna be for it. So definitely love this one. Next one being Found My Wings. I tend to like the sort of like pink / purple shades. I like how they look, and then when I get them on my nails, like this light lavender with like a dash of pink, I never really enjoy them as much as I enjoy looking at it in the bottle. I do get a lot of compliments when I wear that sort of shade on my nails, and maybe it's flattering for me, and sometimes, I don't know, I think I just have to find the right one for me. But this one, because it has that shimmer, it was just right. So I know that I'm really going to enjoy this one because of this beautiful glow from the shimmer. I can see this one definitely being that one for me. It's like getting washed out because of the sun, but you know what I mean. You guys saw it swatched. It is so lovely. And then of course I have a new leaf. I mean, how could I not pick this green? The shimmer in here is like this beautiful, like fiery yellow gold orange. And then it just contrasts so well against the green base. Again, another lovely polish for the springtime. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes.